Yo, what's up guys, it's RBD Entertainment and I'm bringing you a brand new video. So today I'm going to be talking to you about some of my gaming history, and I was talking to a mate about the Modern Warfare Remastered and how he wanted, he'd rather like Modern Warfare 2 to be remastered. And I was sort of talking about what game I'd like to be remastered, but I was like, I wouldn't really want to see any of my old school games remastered because you lose the nostalgia by playing it on a different console, different telly, you know what I mean? It's like when I'm playing like Halo 3, I had like a box telly, obviously not like a LED, LCD TV or anything like that, but the box telly, and it was like 13 inches and you could hardly see the screen, and you had the 360 and the controller was like fucking falling apart, and you know the internet was like one up and it lagged, and you know what I mean? It's not the same as playing it remastered on like an Xbox One. So I thought I'll give you a little rundown on like my gaming past. So first off, I think my first ever console was the old school Game Boy Color. I think it was released around 98, but I didn't have the original, I had the colour version which I had in green. And I remember having like about 4 main games I used to play. I think Pokemon Yellow was the thing at the time. It was the trend. You had the cards, I had the PC trading card game, I had obviously the game, I watched all the series on the telly, so it was like a really big thing, Pokemon at the time. I remember I had some really big troubles trying to catch Mew. I think it was Mewtwo and Articuno, but I remember on the old Game Boy you used to before you get to like a boss or anything, you'd save the game, and as soon as you lose, you turn the Game Boy off and switch it back on and load it from the loading point before the match. So it was a bit like a cheating thing, but everyone did it. Another game we used to play was Micro Machines, which was like a car racing game with boats and everything, and you start off with like slow vehicles, and every time you win a race you go up a level, so you'd unlock more powerful cars and everything. So that was really good. Sorry. The other two was Wario Land and Metroid. These two games I had quite a lot of trouble with. I think I got to like certain levels which I could never ever get past, and I think about a year ago I was bored and I got it down from the attic and had to go, and I still can't get past them. But I remember them being like really fun to play, especially Wario Land, because I don't think I ever played Mario before that. I think that was my first ever game. So that's like the Game Boy Color sort of thing. Moving on from that, it went on till around the PlayStation 1, which I think was released around 95, but obviously I was born in 93, so I remember when I was growing up in primary school, my first ever school, probably about a year, maybe like 4 or 5, but I went to like this after school club, and basically they had around like 10 PlayStation 1s like in a row, like a LAN setup, which was amazing. And obviously there was like loads of kids per console, so we could only play like 4-player games, so we all had to play together. And I remember we used to have tournaments in Crash Bandicoot Team Racing. And I remember one kid always used to cheat. He had like a secret boost code or something at the beginning of the map, and whenever we sort of played, he got like a boost head start. So I just remember that. Moving on outside the club, I remember I think my grandparents had like a PlayStation 1 around upstairs, and I remember playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Ridge Racer, Colin McRae, Driver, and I think a couple other games later on when I was on the PlayStation 2 and you can play PS1 games. I used to play the Worms, Hogs of War, Gran Turismo 1 and 2, Driver, and Tekken. So, but I do remember when I was playing which was it? Tony Hawk's. There's like a meme going around on Facebook where it's like a picture of like the first map you play to collect the skate, and it's like, if you don't remember this map, you haven't lived. So that's quite a funny thing. Next along, the first main console for me was a PlayStation 2, because it was mine, it was in my room. All the other consoles, you know, you shared and stuff, so I don't think you have like a good like nostalgia with a game console if it wasn't like yours. I remember I had loads of games, yes I had hundreds, and used to go to Blockbuster and you go in like the dump bin and get pre-owned games for like 50p. And even if they're brand new, they only costed like 20 quid or something to get them, so it was great. So I'm going to run through a couple of my favourite games on the PS2. Groove Rider, Gran Turismo 3, Robot Wars, Guitar Hero, FIFA 01, Star Wars Battlefront, and the iToy. And I think my favourite game of all time on the PS2 was Unreal Tournament, because it was a game that got me into multiplayer first-person shooter. Obviously I didn't have online on PS2, like 90% of kids didn't have online on PS2 because no one even knew about online at that time or stuff like that. And I think the sci-fi sort of led me on to my obsession with Halo, so I quite like that. Some other mentions, the Game Boy Advance and SP, had them all, PSP and Nintendo 64 I played. I didn't own a 64, but I remember playing that like my cousins. Next to the 360, which was the first console which I played or had online, I think. So I remember the first couple of months I had it, I never played online. But I remember finally getting to like move it into the conservatory and playing online. And I think the first game I ever played was Halo 3. And I remember it was online and it was on Foundry. And I was playing it with a family member. And I think that was absolutely crazy, playing online for the first time. Xbox Live, it was, you know, if you grew up on the Xbox One or PS3 and stuff, you won't understand like how good the 360 was coming out. Moving it from a PlayStation, oh, it's miles apart. So I remember playing lots of Gears 2. I don't think I didn't own the original Gears at the time. It was Gears of War 2, which I remember playing online against like Americans who just trash talk, and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. But around that time I started watching the Halo 3 National Championships and supporting becoming a fanboy, MLG fanboy, and I love the 08 team, Street Ripping, which consists of legit Element Warrior, T2 and Snipe Dame. Crazy good. I love the montages and everything. And around this time I was in like last year's like comprehensive school, so I chose media as a GCSE because I love like the how they produced all the like montages and editing and posters and the logos, and that's what got me into design first of all. So some other games I used to play was Halo, Gears of War, Mass Effect, PES 09, Dead Space, Crackdown, PGR3. And I love PGR3. I think I was like 200th in the world like a couple times on like certain maps. Really good. I think I got the Wii a bit later on, which was crazy good for the time. It was like the best Christmas present everywhere. It was like out of stock everywhere, cheaper than like all the other consoles. I got obsessed with the Wii bowling. I finally got to like pro level score 3000 and got like the diamond bowling ball, and I finally got like a perfect score of 300 on the bowling, getting a strike every single time. Along with that, Mario Kart and Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. I was addicted to them games. I played them a lot. I wanted to get the record every time. If I played like a family member in a 1v1, I had to win, I couldn't lose, so that was great. It sort of moved on then to the Xbox One. Now, the Xbox One, I wasn't going to buy it. I didn't buy it when it came out straight out. I was going to buy it for MCC, which is the Master Chief Collection. And there was so much hype for it. Oh my god, this is going to be the biggest thing ever. And I remember getting it and I was like, yes. And then it was shit. As everyone knows, it was a letdown. So I played a bit of that because I loved the old school Halo 3. Wasn't really a big fan of Halo 1. But I loved a bit of Halo 2 and Halo 3. That's the real reason I bought it for. And then it sort of moved on to Halo 5, which everyone knows about Halo 5, which is a terrible game, but I actually quite like playing certain playlists. If they brought out like a nice playlist, I would have played it more, but moving on, I've still got to edit my Halo 5 final. So, look forward to that. Black Ops 3 was my first Call of Duty. I got it for the Xbox One. I quite enjoyed playing it, but I feel it wasn't really my sort of game. I like different games like Halo and stuff, more sci-fi. And then I got Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which I quite liked. It was like playing like old school maps. I quite enjoyed that. And then Titanfall 1, I got that pretty late. I didn't get that in its prime, so I started playing a bit of that. But now currently I'm playing Titanfall 2 and Gears of War 4. I think they're my two favourite games. I don't get any satisfaction out of playing any other game, so they're my favourite game. So that was a bit of Gears of War 4 gameplay in the back. This has been my gaming history. I've been D. Leave a comment on your favourite games and I'll catch you next time. See ya.